Mindy.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we're coming to you today because we are just sitting here talking as we're in my house and just super comfortable and chilling out with friends that we found. We live nowhere near, but we kind of convene at different fitness stuff and things that we share like experiences on. And we were talking today about emotional eating. And while everyone struggles, some people admit it more than others, we all struggle with something. And that struggle ends up kind of manifesting into something, whether it's drinking or spending, or for some people looking at things they shouldn't be looking at, or cheating or whatever. Yeah. Hers and mine we found a lot of comfort in food. And that has, well, that's not pretty. Many of us do. And we overeat for reasons. And we found ourselves going to food for reasons, and we kind of figured out how to stop that, or at least manage it better within our lives. And I want Chelsea to tell you her experience with this and kind of the tips that she now uses for herself to not fall back into those, dips and valleys.
Absolutely. So I gained about 50 pounds when I was in the lowest part of my life. There was a lot of depression, a lot of regret, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. All things that I think that at one point in our life we've all experienced. And so for me, I turned to food very naturally. And so as I was deciding, I had to make a conscious decision to stop wallowing that and to make a change in my life. I still had those emotional things going on, and that was a trigger for me. So one of my best tips that I can share with you is what I've noticed in my own life. There are moments where I think to myself, you know what, I'm just going to go grab a bag of chips or grab ice cream or eat healthy foods that are in my house, because normally I don't let the bad stuff in, but I can still eat a lot of garlic hummus.
Heck yeah.
Let me tell you. And what I do is I just stop myself in that moment and I say, what am I feeling right now? Was there a post I saw on social media that made me feel inferior or jealous or angry or frustrated, or
maybe a memory?
Yeah, a memory of something that happened in my life, or I thought about somebody, or I got a text message that made me frustrated. It tends to be related to something so much bigger than, oh, I'm hungry right now. And I think that if all of us decide that even just for one full day we pay attention to those cravings, and when they happen, we can identify what is the area in our life that's causing the most pain or the most frustration, and then we can find personal development or sermons or podcasts that help equip us to handle those feelings so we don't eat those feelings.
And go back down that path, which is a cycle, because once you do it, you're kind of like, oh, this will be fine. I haven't eaten bad in a long time. And you start eating, and then you're like, ugh. And honestly, it's something we could control, but we let ourselves into that. And then, of course, we feel bad. And don't get me wrong, I do believe in having fun and in letting yourself have what you want sometimes and all that stuff. But this is different. This is something that we perceive in our head a certain way, and it brings up emotions and maybe anger or frustration, and then instead of dealing with it or finding the proper kind of category to put it in our head, we eat. And I mean, some people drink, and
it's beyond tasting it, and it's beyond enjoying one drink. It's
not like that tastes good. It's like I don't know. I don't want to say it's like a self-defeating behavior, like it's your intention, but that's where it goes. And then you're in this cycle, and you're like, oh my gosh, I find myself eating so much, I can't control it. I get Facebook messages a lot about this, and I'm so happy, by the way, that people feel comfortable to come to me, because I love our job. I love fitness. Sure, we'd love for you to be a part of our business, but we just feel like we have a bigger calling, a bigger purpose with all this, which kind of all goes into what we're saying. There's a reason that we go there. We're trying to fill ourselves with this stuff for whatever reason, because of what's happened in our past, or the way we think of a situation. And I don't know. I mean, like, that's my personal kind of experience and how I feel with it. So do you write down, like what you feel or why you're feeling it?
Absolutely. So that was actually the next step that I thank you for reminding me, because that's a huge thing, is you can start to see trends and see patterns as to, well, every single time at 7 o'clock after I get home from work and I kick my heels off, as opposed to spending time with my family or, doing something productive, I get caught in the newsfeed scrolling trap or the reality TV trap, which, both those things I love, but when it consumes you or when it deflates you, that's for me personally when I found I was living vicariously through other people and letting other people's lives and successes consume me rather than taking steps to create my own life and my own destiny. So writing it down is a really great way to see the things that you may overlook or not even know are going on in your own life.
So what I'd like for you to do, if you would, just because, I mean, we just want to do this because no one talked to us about this. No one said, like, it was almost like a dirty little secret or something, and it's not. It's something that we can work through and find better things to do with that and figure out those triggers. So please, I mean, write something, tell us, message us, say this, I do experience this, or, you know, mine's a little deeper, or mine's a little different, because it's common, but it's one of those things that, by the way, that's someone walking in the mirror to go eat, her husband. He just went past the mirror. But it's something that I think no one wants to talk about, and I'm not afraid to talk about the difficult things, and they're so not pretty and so not sexy, but they're real, and no one in this life lives without struggle and trial and bad memories or memories that we've manifested into something, you know, that's unhealthy. So we want to hear from you. Feel free to message us. You can find us on Facebook, or, you know, just message us here on this YouTube video. I'm going to do one about my triggers too. And so she's got hers. And while we're just a few years difference, there's different situations for everybody. It's depending on how you're raised and your thought process. So don't feel bad about this. Let us help you work through it, because it's something that we have now worked through that we still struggle with, but we found just a better way to kind of combat it, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Joy comes in the morning.